Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Good evening, all. Hope all are doing well.
Good evening, Pankaj.
Good evening, Ji.
Sure. Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening.
So next Wednesday, we will have the balance portion of liquidation regulation next Wednesday. Because it will be the end of this. Today was the last day, but our liquidation regulations will remain there. So next Wednesday, we will cover the remaining portion on 23rd of this month.
Shall we start? Pankaj sir, can we start?
Yeah, we should start.
Okay, sir.
Your voice is very bleak.
Sir, now I am audible?
Yeah, now you are audible.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to the webinar series on the topic Reviewing Regulations Notified under IBC. Today we have with us Pankaj Khetan sir as a moderator to discuss on the topic Reviewing Prepacked Insolvency Resolution Regulations. Now I may request sir to kindly proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Anjali. So Anjali, share the screen and put the prepacked regulations. Yeah, kindly make it on full screen. Full screen. Increase the size, font size. Are you getting me, Anjali? In the meantime, Anjali, make a defect removal in this. So, why the prepack insolvency regulation? What was the intention of the government to bring this regulations in pictures when complete CIRP is there? Can you share? Will you share someone your views? Will someone will share their views? Why this prepack insolvency came?
Pankaj, this was basically for MSMEs or
Okay.
small companies.
So MSME we cannot cover in CIRP.
But this is a fast track mode for small companies,
Okay. So fast track resolution is something different and prepack is something different.
It is a cost-effective process.
Yes.
Right. So what is the success rate of this prepack insolvency?
I would say not much.
So what's the purpose government is achieving by keeping this regulation?
May I come in, sir?
Yeah, please, Sushil ji.
I think one case has been decided on this very recently. Otherwise, I don't think that there has been any movement in this pre-pack field.
Okay.
So if one case after all this time, I think basically because you have to take the financial creditors on board before you even start the exercise, maybe it is not getting the traction that it should have.
So what's the reason of failing it? Only one reason ki financial creditor shall be on board?
Sir, I think that generally the IBC is more or less, if you would look at it from the financial creditors point of view, most of the banks have a separate vertical dealing with it. And if you look into Prepack, then I presume that Prepack has to take into consideration the credit department because the account will be active. And there, I think that we have not been able to approach them and convince them that this might be a route. They are doing this restructuring all the time. So this also might be one of the faster ways of doing it.
Okay. So why banks are not taking so much interest in this pre-pack insolvency? If it is beneficial for the financial institution?
Maybe they have option to go for OTS and other thing.
That's true. That's right. But they can take the options for OTS and under SURFACI anyhow they can start their SURFACI action anytime.
May I come in, sir?
I
This
think
is
that
CA
it has not
Gurvinder.
been marketed well.
Okay.
So may I come in? I am CA Gurvinder.
Yeah, please, Gurvinder ji.
So to be very blunt, it is the lethargy and lack of proactiveness. What happened is I've been into this
On
process for
part
a
of
pretty long
whom?
time.
Gurvinder ji, on part of whom?
Just give me a minute. You will get an answer when I speak. Another thing is I've been into the stress test for a pretty long time. What happened is when an asset goes bad, if my memory is correct, even SURFACI, there were option to take over the control of the management of the company. Insofar as my memory is concerned, that was never exercised. Then came SURFACI, then came this IBC. See, what happened is IBBI have been very clear about it that you got to unlock the value of the company as long as it is a going concern. And banker, before the asset gets into the stress, like before it gets into, sort of a categorization as an NPA, the kind of dealing, I've been a CFO of a company, you are in touch with the banker all times and informally discuss with the banker, sir, there is a stress. What is but somehow I feel that I dealt with one of the largest banks of India. Either there are layers of bureaucracy or what. My experiences have been that the proactiveness which is required and the realization which is required at the end of the FC, that the earliest possible option, this stress is resolved, the better it is for all of us, CD as well as the FC. That's my experience.
That's true. Okay. Anyone else?
Sir, I think the haircut to be offered by the financial creditors as a prerequisite in case of the prepackaged, whereas in case of CIR, that's the last resort, could be the one another reason why it is not attracting or why FCs or financial institutions are hesitant about picking up this as an option.
Okay. Sir, as far as banking, yeah, Mr. Singh, Anil Singh.
Yeah, just disable the chat because everybody is putting his IBI registration number. Sir, second, in the in for the prepack, that is mostly for MSME sector. Or in MSME sector, I see there is some party who should not be fall in MSME sector. They are claiming they are MSME because 50 crore plant equipment and the machinery it should be there, and 250 crore turnover is there. And I see many cases there is some party there, and they are kind of going to registered in MSME. They supposed not to go there because they are kind of there a declaration from their side. The government is not checking if the declaration is right or wrong, but they are putting it there in MSME. Okay, that is question is that. Second, it is debtors in control because there is there is no too much power for COC or creditors to get the things done because there is everything is relying to the corporate data in this prepack, and so the party not interested to go in prepack. They are going in CIRP because they have a lot of power and they have got lot of control on corporate data. That is why the prepack is not success. And second thing is that in most cases you will not get the resolution applicant in case of MSME because the turnover is very less, and plant and machine resources is very less in MSME sector. That's why government try to go prepack.
Fair enough. Okay. So,
I just have one thing to say. This is Amarendra.
Mr. Shiv-Kumar.
See, a couple of years back, I remember being on a program conducted by IBPI. There was some cross-border people talking, and I think UK mentioned that they had implemented Prepacked, and they were quite successful on this. Okay. Then, of course, I mean, this came in a couple of years back. Theoretically, it looked pretty good in the sense that, the claims list and all is already prepared by the CD and a lot of work is done before you come in. But I agree with all the other panelists that it could be lethargy, it could be that lack of proactiveness, which is what has not led this to be successful. Because it is an abbreviated or a T20 version. And there's really no reason why it has not taken off. Okay.
Yeah, in my view, I am sharing my view, my personal view. See, for prepacked insolvency, financial creditor must be professionally equipped, well qualified to handle the industry. What happens in prepacked insolvency? That financial creditor will come on the board of the company. And during that ongoing concern, when the company is coming under the stress condition, then by providing the professional advice to the company, financial creditor will save the stakes of all the stakeholders. That was the main purpose, as far as my knowledge is concerned. But does our banks have the professional persons who can handle such type of assignments? Before bringing any law, we have to see the ecosystem. We should not correlate our economic condition with other countries' economic condition. If prepack is successful in UK economy, then it's not mandatory that it will be successful in our economy. Our bankers are not at the ground level. Our bankers are not professionally qualified. They are not at ground level. Maybe at head office level they may be. But prepacked insolvency deals with the bankers at branch level or at the zonal level. So if suppose a zone has around 50-60 accounts, so I don't think they will do the justice to all the corporates who are under the stress condition. Mr. Ravi, kindly.
Sir, can I intervene?
Yeah, please.
Sir, I'm a banker. I'm a retired GM of SBI.
Okay.
See, sir, it is not a question of professional or anything like that, because when it comes to dealing with corporate MSME accounts, it is not done at branch level. It is done at specialized level. Okay, for many banks. Okay, sir, particularly
I am agree with you, but with due respect, due respect to the bankers, even bankers are professionally qualified, but their decision making is taking so much time that whole the CIRP process will come to end, but they never take the concrete decision.
So may I? Yeah, I agree. There is delay in decision, but the
That's
point
why
is
I'm saying that's why I'm saying due to the part of the delay on the part of the COC, the IPs are suffering.
No, because see, in prepack, what happens is actually the options or the strength of the COC is lower compared to.
Exactly.
That is the reason why bankers are taking a back seat.
That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
why bankers are not taking interest in this prepack insolvency.
Yeah, that's because no, their options are limited. That's it.
That yes, not sir. Their options are not limited. They can appoint the member on the board of any company. It is mentioned, always mentioned in the sanction letter. If any stress will see, then bank will appoint the person in their management of the board. But I don't. But in my professional history of 27 years, I never see any bank who has appointed any person from the bank in any board.
Sir, earlier we used to do, but now that because we have to keep arm's length, many bankers are not venturing into this.
Sir, on top accounts, bankers are doing, but as far as small accounts, for this MSME or prepack insolvency has come, bankers are never appointed any person.
True.
Otherwise, what happens? This see, when account become NPA, so then in the initial stage, all stocks will be vanished.
Yes, sir. I agree.
All debtors will be dummy.
Yes, coming right.
Bank never do exercise for third party verification of the debtors.
Okay, maybe. Okay, bank will do it only when it presses them. That's true.
Yes. When the accounts become stressed, then bank come into the picture.
Yes, correct. I
Otherwise,
agree.
Otherwise, it is the duty of the bank because its stocks and debtors are under the charge of the financial institutions. So they should on regular basis watch each and every account when they are
Singh, sir.
Yes, Anil.
Hello.
Yeah,
Sir,
Anil.
can you think then the Supreme Court see that the COC has the commercial wisdom? Because you are the senior person, and have you feel
that is the irony of this IBC.
No, that is okay. I am actually practically, if the COC is there is a banker, there is a commercial vision to run the plant.
Sorry?
Actually, I am asking the COC, can COC has a commercial wisdom for the taking the decision to running the plant or everything. Have you feel that?
Your voice is cracking, Anilji. I am not getting.
Sir, may I?
Yeah, please, Bakshiji.
So there's one point. This pre-pack is giving maximum value prior to CIRP process.
Yes.
That's the main objective.
Yes.
This must be realized by all the stakeholders.
Exactly.
And another point is CD is the first person who should be honest, candid, and bold enough to realize this point when this process should be initiated.
Sir,
And that
Rajeshji, what happens when a CD realizes that my account is becoming stress? So he will hesitate to go to the bank. He kindly provide me the assistance, professional assistance.
I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
I'm coming to that point also. And the quality of information exchange with the bankers, creators, that should be healthy enough to have this kind of relationship. Bankers, since this process is there, bankers should have enough professional acumen to make use of this process. Whatsoever is happening, that is past. Once this system is there, once this law is there, to maximize their gains, how can this be done in a before CRP process and keep the business running. That's in the interest of everyone. That should be realized and taken. A bold decision should be taken.
Yes. So, sir, it's my humble request to all the professionals joining this webinar today and who are the ex-bankers. They should guide the banks that it is in their interest to adopt this pre-pack insolvency.
Can I come in, sir?
Yeah, please, Mr. Kashi.
The first and foremost thing is the amount of haircut which is being proposed has to be accepted by the financial creditor as well as by the operational creditor before he ventures into this PARP. First point. And what happens is when he starts this process, he agrees for, say, for example, 60% haircut. And looking into the formalities, when it goes to the higher up levels, they ask for 80%. That is 80%, 20% is the haircut I can give you. This is how, see, back and forth when movement starts happening, the frustration happens with all spheres, all the stakeholders who are working on this. Second thing is, when you take a CIRP, already the asset is NPA, to be more categorical in nature. Here, it's an operational unit which is finding difficulty in its funds flow system. That is, the funds flow system is not only from the bank, it is also from the creditors, other creditors, the operational creditors who are in operation to help the company to run the operation. This is where the issue arises. Otherwise, PIRP, for anybody for that matter, if anybody sits across the table and does the situation, it will be an easy walkthrough.
Exactly.
But the joining of minds of all, even the CD, it is not only the financial creditor who is important in this, it is also the operational creditor, because the financial creditor will question, if I say the operational creditor, I have to make him 90, I have to give him 90%, 10% is the haircut. For you, I can give you 80%, 20% is the haircut. There arises the anomaly. The financial creditor will say, I am giving you money. He only looks at the money. But one thing, when the operational creditor in the sense, he runs the business of yours by giving you material for you to manufacture and to sell and to realize and then to make the payment. This is how it is. That is why it has not kick-started. If the account becomes NPA, it is very easy for the bank to start the CRP process and just lay its heels cool. That's all, simple as that, sir. This is my opinion.
Okay, thank you. Now we start regulation wise, and I will request all the IPs to give their suggestions, which area, which point, which clause we have to recommend to IBBI for some improvement. So definition clause, I think it's okay. Or should be any change in definition clause? Anjali, come down slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay. Now third regulation 3, meeting and communication. I think there should not be any change. Then essential supply, same as CIRP, or one should add something else in this.
Can we add security services?
Which services, Vaishali ji?
Security services of the
security
plan.
service, yes. Anjali, kindly note down security service in regulation 4 for essential supply. That's a valid point. And one thing more, we should also mention that these supplies will cover all the plants and office of the CD. Otherwise, what happens? Generally, argument will come that we will cover only the factory, not the office. Electricity, water, We will
So
cover
what
the
about
factory where the production is going on, not the
what
office.
what about the rental of the corporate office? Typically, when you go bad, there is a stress at payment of the corporate office rental, maybe unit or maybe not, but generally corporate offices are on rentals.
Yes, 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 yes. So yes, that's a good suggestions. We can mention the rent also, security services and rent. Both for plant.
Is payable to individual. How do you make an individual to suffer for another man's CARP or prepaid package? It's an individual.
So rent will continue going on.
No, let him vacate and go if he is not able to pay the rent. That is a normal thing. You cannot bring under this. Maybe the moratorium that is granted can say that, but it cannot be brought into this. Then you have to ask the stakeholders.
No, Mr. Shankar, when some office is on lease and office is going on, company is not under NPA or company is not under insolvency. Right? Business is going on.
Sir, when it comes to prepackage, there is a stress in the business. Normally, vacation notice would have been issued.
That's true.
Definitely would have been issued.
But if there is no default on the part of the rent, then
it is okay.
Simple.
Then it is okay. But it cannot actually, even electricity also, they are not providing you free of cost.
That's why I'm saying, but they cannot disconnect.
No, they disconnect, sir. They disconnect. Case by case, we have to go and say that it is essential supply, which is required. It is mentioned here. Kindly give us.
Yes. But then it will. Then it resumes, na, because it has been mentioned as an essential supply.
Though it is there, none of the electricity board is allowing you to do that.
I am agree with you.
Then how do you make an individual to do it? Expecting an individual is not that appropriate. No? Even when a government is not ready to support.
Okay.
You think about that point.
Sir, I think rather than having an individualistic approach, it's better to have a macro approach. The reason I'm saying is I have gone through all these things, and from my experience, I speak. When a CD goes bad, one thing is for sure. When a CD goes bad, one thing is for sure. In case the CD is not corrected, or in case an account which hasn't fallen into the stress one is not corrected at the earliest, typically what happens is, I'll tell you the flow how one goes back. Typically, what happened is, for an MSME sector, all of us are senior professional here. What we do, we give collateral, we take loan. We give collateral, we take loan. When there is a stress, either the bank will ask for additional collateral, and if that is not the case, then eventually there will be delay to operational creditor, there will be delay to the rent, and at the very fag end, because no entrepreneur who want to run his business would like to become an NPA in today's scenario when there is a lot of stress on CIBIL being correct. I am a chartered accountant in practice now. People are extremely cautious about their CIBIL these days, those who want to stay in business. But when there is a stress, people are very proactive. Many people come to us that we don't want to get into all this mess. Get us out of all this. But the problem is when you start getting into this mess of being declared as an NPA, prior to that period of being declared as an NPA, there is a hope at the end of the CD that maybe if people support me, see, I have planted a business. Who want to get out of this unless and until there are fraudulent kind of a stuff, which I don't think this is a forum to discuss. Yeah, that's not a forum to discuss about those dubious causes. So I'm removing them from my discussion. So when there is a CD who has planted a business, I can quote you one of the case of a company which was incubated in IIM. They were having some stress. They borrowed from here or there because they don't want to get into this NPA stuff. So when there is a stress, the stress will be felt by OC, it will be felt by the landlord, it will be felt by the government.
Exactly.
Now, when the entrepreneur is doing hunky dory, everybody is making money out of it.
Yes.
The the problems start when he faced, these are business decisions. I take a business call which was not good. I expanded. Unfortunately, market did not
Respond.
accepted my timing was wrong.
Yes.
So there is a window of 6-7 months, 2 or 3 quarters, where entrepreneur is very confident that I will be able to sail through. But at that point of time, I have done a lot of restructuring. In restructuring, there was a gentleman from State Bank of India, general manager. In fact, I met the CMD of State Bank of India. When I met the general manager of India, State Bank of India, they are a people who understand. But you don't start from GM, CGM. You start from RM. You start from the branch
Branch
manager.
head, branch head.
Now, you start with the branch head, I told
Yes.
him, I said, this account is restructured, so you are supposed to give me this much of a money. Oh, you have to do this, you have to do this. There are, I don't know. The idea is um, how these things would be reduced in black and white and uh, create a behavioral change in a bureaucratic environment of the largest bank. I don't know. I mean, because this is cultural, cultural. How do
Exactly.
you change something cultural through some regulations? I don't know how would this be achieved. But believe me, the malaise is there. When I started my career 25 years back, we went to Sydney. And my mentor told me that when an entrepreneur goes to the bank, the first reaction of bank is chor aa gaya. So this thing has to go away. Fraudulent. There was one very large case where CFO of the company unashamedly said that if bank do not give me the money, I will declare this account as an NPA and whole bank will suffer. Now that company is with Tata's. But the point is, those small, 50 crore wala guys, 25 crore, 50 crore
Yes,
wale,
yes. That's true. That's true. That is the main thing now.
that they have to be hand-holded
Yes.
by
Fair enough.
bankers, by us. They have to be
Fair enough.
supported. They have
I
to be
think
hand-held.
everything
Yes.
falls under the ecosystem, as Mr. Pankaj has said. So there is a handicap of ecosystem. If we keep on talking about individual cases, there will be
That's
many.
endless process.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Anyway, now
Sir,
I think it's security
just
service
a second.
shall be covered or not. What your suggestion?
So 1 second. Whatsoever has been said just now, there will always be stakeholders who will make more money in a dying business. So
Well,
their interest would be, maybe the business goes, it dies, NPS happens, whatsoever. They will make more money in that scenario. So their interest would be like that only. What
Absolutely
has been
right.
just said.
Now regulation for only security service shall be added or
Pankaj, even I would suggest, other manpower services like housekeeping and other services, that should be continued.
manpower and security services.
Yeah, manpower means housekeeping and other essential
Yeah.
services.
Manpower and security services, both for factory, plant, as well as corporate office or
Office,
any.
yeah, all offices and factories.
All offices. Fair enough. We are not. Now regulation 5, extortionate credit transactions. I think it is in same line with the CIRP. Next, prepacked insolvency cost regulate. Slowly move कीजिए अंजलि. Yeah, come down. Fee payable to authorized representative, out of pocket expense of authorized representative, any other directly relating to the process approved by the committee. Any suggestions? In this point, any suggestion? Regulation 6.
And it be just moved up, please.
Okay. So, regulation 7. I think it is the same criteria of RP.
Yes, same as IBC.
Yeah. Then regulation 8. It has been clearly mentioned that corporate debtor shall bear the cost.
Not the COC. Yeah, correct.
And 9, regulation 9, assessed to the books.
Pankaj, one general comment is, in most of the
I have a
cases
point,
when corporate debtor is not able to bear the expenses, it's not in a position, there are no assets. So there should be somewhere in the regulations mentioned that COC or the creditors should bear the expenses. Otherwise it becomes a problem for IP to bear the costs and expenses out of the pocket.
Sir, if we should suggest in like this way, if the financial creditor start the prepack.
No, Pankaj, I am talking in general. I'm not talking specifically about a prepack, but in general, in general, I'm talking.
No, in general, that's under CIRP we have already discussed. So today we are on prepack only. So what's your suggestion in prepack?
Prepack.
Same here.
Okay, now Mr. Kashi, what you are saying?
Sir, when the corporate debtor is going to incur the cost and other expenses, what is the necessity for keeping that essential services? It has to be borne by everything, right?
Yes.
What is the need for saying that essential services are, this is only essential services will be allowed? When it is practically CD is going to make the payment. It is not the financial creditor.
Sir, under prepack, CD has to bear the cost.
And then what is the necessity for having a regulation called essential services?
For this purpose, point is here, if there is any delay for 1 month, 2 months and electricity department cut the power, then there is a window. To instruct them through NCLT, keep on supplying the power, and the all payment shall be cleared. Right?
No, Pankaj, it should remain. It should remain.
Yes, it should remain.
CD is not in a position to pay. Then what?
That's why I'm saying if it is in delay for 2-3 months, so electricity department will cut the power.
No, it should remain. It should remain.
Yes. Access to book regulation 9. I think it is same.
It's same. It's the same as IBC.
Yeah.
Actually, hello, sir.
Yeah, please, Anilji.
Actually, yeah, there is a problem in this insolvency cases. So board of there is a board of director or director don't provide the information because they say we don't know. But who are the officer who are the in charge of that plant and accounts, actually they make a story. Yeah, I don't know, but they don't cooperate because they are following the instruction of the director.
Sir, it is pre-pack. It is Anilji, it is pre-pack. So it is in the best interest of the promoter only to save their company.
Sir, there is so many cases there that it is depend on the case to case.
Sir, under CIRP it happens. Under CIRP it happens that promoters are not cooperating. But in prepack, I don't think this circumstances will come.
Sir, the RP and the promoter have to go hand in hand to get the resolution done, sir. It is not that the CD is separate and the promoter is separate.
Yes. That's why I'm saying.
It's hand in
Actually,
hand.
Mr. Pankaj,
yeah,
there may be a situation at a later date. While you negotiate the pre-package, it will all be right. It is a time period. After 20-30 days of admission, the records may not be coming. You may be thinking that the records will be produced.
And sir, then prepack will be failed and corporate debtor will
So this
suffer.
provision should be there.
Corporate debtor will suffer, then CIRP will start, then CIRP will start, then under section 19 he has to give. So it is in the interest of the corporate debtor.
Interest of the corporate debtor.
Appointment of professionals. Yeah, it's same. Next. Disclosure of cost, it's normal. Preservation of records. Here, there is no time period has been provided. Slowly, Anjali, slowly. Yeah, preservation of records, there is no time period provided. So I think 3 years or 5 years time period should be there. All recordings during prepack PIRP, RP has to secure and preserve this. So what's your suggestion? Time period 5 years? Regulation 12, preservation
3 years is over. 3 years sufficient.
3 years.
Same as
3 years, Pankaj, 3
sufficient.
years. 3
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
same as
Okay.
above.
Same as CIRP.
Same as CRP as we suggest. 13 is common, same filing of reports and forms. That is section 208. It is mandatory under 208 1D, 2D. Next. Regulation 14.
Sir, time period should be 2 years.
Yeah, 3 years we have.
No, sir, 2 years should be there because look back period only for 2 years, na, for IRP.
Okay. So most of IPs have suggested 3 years.
3 years or as directed.
Okay. Approval by financial creditor.
Pankaj, for public announcement, we had increased the period, na? Suggested for 7 days of time.
Yes.
How many days? 7 days, na?
7 days, 7 days.
That's okay.
अंजलि नीचे लेकर आइए. Yeah, 14. Yes. Any suggestion in 14? It's a normal suggestion to call the meeting of financial creditor, and in that meeting that will be approved by the financial creditor.
So the option of calling the meeting is given to the applicant.
Yes.
Not even the IP.
Not the FCs. Applicant means corporate debtor.
Yeah, I understand, but that means the upper hand is in this
corporate
process.
Debtor. Yes.
It should be with the IP, not with the CD.
No, not with the. No, sir. It's first. Anjali, Regulation 14. Show again. See, for the purpose of clause so and so, the applicant shall convene meeting of the FCs who are not related party of the corporate debtor. So now we have to see the 54A. Anjali, kindly come to 54A.
And 54A of what?
Of these regulations.
Okay.
Come down.
Perfect.
It's gone.
Code control F for 54A.
Yeah, 54A.
It is a drafting mistake.
Control F
There is
dabaalo,
no
sir.
54A there.
Madam, why don't you press Control F and write 54A? Maybe something will come up.
Section 54A.
Sir, I think it's in code.
Control F will show the page number.
You have to go to the code actually. 54A is in the code.
54A section.
$54A will be in the code, na, Pankaj?
Yeah, 54 section.
Yeah,
Yes,
it will be in the
sir,
code.
I'm just looking at it.
No, 54 is for the resolution.
Corporate debtor eligible for a prepackaged insolvency resolution process. An application for initiating prepackaged insolvency resolution process may be made in respect of a corporate debtor classified as micro, small, or medium enterprise under subsection 1 of section 7 of the Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Development Act 2006 without prejudice. That is section 54A.
2, subsection 2 and 3 without
Yeah.
prejudice.
Yeah. Subsection 3 is corporate debtor shall obtain an approval from its financial creditor. Corporate debtor shall obtain an approval from its financial creditor, not being its related parties.
Corporate debtor shall obtain an approval.
Yeah.
It means corporate, it is the duty
Corporate
of the
debtor should
corporate
obtain.
debtor.
He should only convene.
Yes, yes,
Should
to
only
convene
convene
the
the
meeting.
meeting.
Yes, to convene the meeting. RP will not come in the picture at this time.
Yeah. RP will not be there. He
Yes,
should convene
yes,
the
yes.
meeting,
That's why.
convince the financial creditor.
Yes, yes. That it is the duty of the corporate debtor. RP will come after approval of the financial creditor regarding the PIRP. Then the RP will come into the picture once his appointment got approved.
Yes.
Now, Anjali, come to the regulations part. Yes. Regulation 14, 15, we are there now. ऊपर आइए अंजलि, ऊपर आइए. Yes. Approval by financial creditor, I think it's fine. Then regulation 15. Now slowly move. Choice of authorized representative. Slowly. Yes. See, we have to, CD has to see whether there is class of creditors or not. In the same way, authorized representative like in CIRP for home buyers or like this. Next. ये बार-बार नीचे क्यों जा रहा है? Yeah, regulation 15. Yes.
See, move with arrow key. Move with arrow key. I think it will be slower.
Yes. By cursor it is moving.
No, move with arrow key instead of scroller.
Page up करिए अंजलि, page up कर लीजिए. Yeah. Now come down slowly. Same process is the same as we appoint in CIRP. Declaration, section 54 ABC. Then it's the procedural part. Any suggestion in these regulation till 18? It's the procedural part, I suppose.
Yeah, it's procedure only.
Yeah.
There's
19.
nothing required here.
Yeah, 19. Yeah, within 2 days of commencement of the process, that time period should be 5 days.
Yes, it should be even for all the processes.
Yeah, it should be 5 days.
Yeah, correct. Here, that's correct.
7 days, Pankaj.
Sir, in pre-pack, we can keep it 5 days because it is under the control of CD only.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it should be a little faster. 5 days is okay.
Yes.
Sir, 5 days they may not agree because it's a pre-package.
That's why I'm saying 5 days. We are suggesting let the IBBI decide.
Sir,
Because there will representation from other IPAs also, na?
sir,
Yes,
days
sir.
okay. Sir, 2 days it is okay, but it should be in directing nature.
That's why we have suggested 5 days, na?
No, 2 days is okay, but it should be in directing nature, not mandatory nature.
Okay. Most of IPs have suggested 5 days.
Sir, one point we have to keep in mind. As
Yeah,
far as the
Mr.
pre-package itself, the IP has to give a certificate that this is eligible for the pre-package. So he is supposed to follow the case and take the order.
Exactly.
So in that case, you cannot ask 1 week or something like that.
Exactly. That's why we have mentioned 5 days in between of this. List of claims. Every data has to be provided by the CD in PIRP. Now it is the duty of the RP to see whether data which the CD is sharing is authenticate or not. It might be possible that CD will provide you fabricated data. Creditors, the CD may increase the operational creditors.
So this particular point which says the RP shall inform every creditor regarding its claim as confirmed by him and seek objections if any. You know, this should be clarified because already the list of claims is being provided on website, being kept at a particular place, which is being informed to all.
Yeah.
And addresses, etc. may not be available also.
No, ma'am, it's fine. CD has provided 10 operational creditor. List of 10 operational creditors. They are all dummy. Their email ID is there because they are hand in glove with the CD. It might be possible. Their email ID is there, their address is there. And as RP is verifying these claims, So it is the duty of the RP to see whether these are fair operational creditor or dummy.
Yeah, but to, it imposes obligation on the RP to inform every creditor separately also about their claims.
Sir, नहीं Shali ma'am, ये तो देखिए ना कि if I am a CD, I provided you are the RP, I provided you a list of operational creditor, and I ask you to verify it. What you will do? You will send a mail to me, to my creditor, and my creditors are hand in glove with me. They will say, yes, I owe this amount to the company or to me.
No, Pankaj, I'm talking of a case where there are hundreds of creditors. All I'm saying is the address should be as per the records of the corporate debtor. That's all.
Obviously, that should be as per the record, as per the information given by the corporate debtor only.
Even in CARP, as of now, you have to address all the creditors.
Yeah, sir. There is a difference.
Sir, there are many cases of circular trading, and they are related party.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that RP has to very clearly identify these things. Anyway, next. Anjali, next page. Slowly. A creditor shall update its when the claim is satisfied. Determination of amount of claim. See, all obligation is on RP for verification of the claim, for determination of the amount of the claim. That's why I said we should do it on very fair basis. Any point of suggestion?
What is meant by informing? Is sending an email enough?
Yeah, it's enough. It's enough. Any suggestion in clause 21, 22, 23? I think it's the procedural part.
So, Pankaj, Pankaj, sorry to bother you.
Yeah,
I just want to know, actually, in public announcement, there are 5 days or 3 days. So, like, what about that public holiday, national holiday?
Ma'am, it all counted.
Huh?
It will be all inclusive.
Inclusive only.
So you are taking suggestions. At least national holiday should be excluded.
No, we cannot
RP
suggest.
or IRP or liquidator should not work on public national holidays at least.
Ashuji, 180 days during CIRP.
180 days not. I'm not talking about publication 5 days.
That's why I'm saying for even CIRP, what is the position nowadays? Is there any exclusion? No.
No, so that's why, Pankaj, I am suggesting, when these 5 days or 7 days, it should be 5 or 7 working days actually.
Yes, something like that.
No, in all IBC, it is always without any qualification. No, so it should be like that.
Keep 180 days, fine, 180 days, but Sundays RP can work, but don't expect on national holiday when nobody can open the office.
Ashuji and all IPs, मेरे हिसाब से ये रहता है कि all working day in some states, some days are working. कोई किसी state में some holidays are there in some other state.
I'm talking about only national holiday. National holiday only. 2nd August, 15 August, 2 October, only national holiday, not about the festivals and all.
Actually, 180 days does not exclude any holidays. Including national holidays. Including national holidays.
I would, excuse me.
RP is 24/7. He has to complete it.
That is the irony of the IP, na?
I would suggest forming a union of IPs.
Anandji, please keep this question out of this forum.
No, just one
sec. We cannot discuss.
And we'll make Ashuji.
No, Anandji, we cannot discuss this
president
type
of this union of IPs.
No, we cannot. Yes.
So it was not a serious suggestion.
Pankaj, we can keep it as working days because working days
Yeah,
means very...
five working day we can suggest
you can
five
keep
working
it as
days.
working day.
That is what I wanted to convey.
Understand the issue. You can keep
Okay.
it as 5 working days. But
See,
again,
Pankaj,
you will be cutting
always
across your 180 days. You will be cutting across your 120 days. That will be eaten away in the holidays. How do you collect the claims? How do you constitute the committee? How do you go about it? Understand that pressure also. That is very important. If you take holiday, that 180 days will go off in the holiday.
Yes. That's why I am saying, but
rather the amendment should come even for 180 days, allowing the holidays, national holidays. Then it is okay. Without allowing that, asking this is not okay.
Sir, during CIRP, we have suggested the working days clause.
Yes, I understand. But
during CIRP also, we have suggested that this 180 days shall be the working days.
Then it is okay. If the working days comes, then it is okay.
We have suggested that.
See, when
now
you call
let the
they will say that
decide.
their bank is a holiday, they will not come.
Let the IBBI decide. 24 committee with only creditor in class. I think it's the same way. Committee with only operational creditors. Same way as CIRP 10 largest OCs. Any suggestion in 24-25? Next, 26. Change in committee. Fair enough. Wherever days are mentioned, we should keep working days. Like 2 days is mentioned, 2 working days.
Correct, working days.
सर एनसीईआरटी की भी समर और विंटर वैकेशन होती है, हम आईपी की कोई वैकेशन नहीं है. Anyway, 27 now, meeting of committees.
Sir, as regards meeting, I'm Satya Devi. As regards meeting, in 28.2, you are saying even for CARP, it should not be less than 24 hours. But sometimes during CARP itself, with the consent of COC, we are forced to conduct some COC meetings, but not recording it at COC meeting because of this regulation.
Which regulation?
It should not be less than 24 hours. See, somebody is traveling. So based on the travel, the result of the travel, we want to have one more discussion meeting, COC meeting in fact. Because the notice for that meeting, we don't know, we have to hold it or not hold it. It all depends on
No, that will be violation of the regulation.
That is what. So I want that to be removed, because in many of my cases, I am forced to hold a meeting which I am not able to record it as a COC meeting.
No, ma'am, we cannot ask to remove anything which one IP cannot follow.
No, this with the consent of all the COC members.
That's your personal case, na? It's not the case of all the IPs.
No, I have come across in many instances where this was required in many of my cases.
No, ma'am. Then you have to fix the date of meeting by consenting all the FCs. Otherwise, you should be so bold enough. You ask your FCs, see, I have fixed this date. You have to come. If you will not come, then your vote will not be there.
This can be waived if all the COC members are present. That is my
yes. Anyway,
opinion.
28, regulation 28, notice for meeting of the committee. Less than three working days, it should be there in regulation 28. 3 working days. Anything else?
28.1, it's in other CIRP, it is 5 days. Here it is 3 days, right?
Yeah, it's that does not suffer anything.
But so, one more thing is,
yeah. Yeah, please.
Not less than 24 hours. It's a valid point, right? You can.
Yeah,
you
not
have to,
less than 24 hours. It's valid point.
It's a valid point.
Yes, yes, yes. Everyone will get the fair chance to schedule their appointments.
Yes.
29, service of notice. See here specifically notice through email is mentioned. No speed post, no by hand. Only through email notice circulation has been mentioned here. Any suggestion in 29? Then 30, content of notice.
In other ways also, no, sir.
Okay.
For example, WhatsApp message, SMS. Nowadays, even court has agreed that you can give a notice to anybody through SMS, through WhatsApp.
Sir, but here in regulation only the email is mentioned, not even the speed post.
That is what we have to include that. We have to include that.
No, we have to see the intention behind this.
The intention, practically the intention is, it is a cohesiveness which has happened between the financial creditor and the CD to get the thing operated. So it is for that reason might be.
Sir, now I am correlating. The notice period is mentioned 3 days. Because why 3 days? We are sending notice through email.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we send the notice through post, then the speed post take around 7 to 8 days nowadays. So someone can easily claim that I have not received the notice at due time. Anyway, contents.
I did not open the mail.
Yeah, contents of the notice, I think it is same. Next, come down. Scroll it. Quorum. Same way, 33%. Any suggestion? 31, 32, it's the procedural part. 31, 32. 33, conduct of meeting.
Okay.
It's the same. Secretarial standard is following. 34. Committee with class of creditors, same as CIRP.
Yes.
Any suggestion? I think it is nicely elaborated here.
It's okay.
Then voting by committee, 35. I don't think any improvement is required. It's self-explanatory. 36, 37. It's all the day-to-day work which we used to do during liquidation, during CIRP.
Yes.
Next. Valuation, appointment of registered valuer. RP shall within 3 days ki jagah we have to mention it 5 days, 5 working days. What's your suggestions?
Yes, Pankaj, yes.
If we ask for the quotation from 5-6 valuers, Then they
Sir, they
also
can quote it in one day, actually. That is not a problem. Maybe within 5 days,
5
you
days,
can
5
appoint.
days is correct.
But the point is, the COC has to necessarily ratify this. They cannot go back and say that the fee is high, the out of pocket is too much restricted.
Yes. So
then it becomes a very big problem.
That's why I'm saying it will take time to confirm the person. Then 39 fair value and liquidation value same way.
Pankaj,
Yeah, Ashuji.
you're doing 3 to 5 days now. See, to make it in line with liquidation process, it says 7 days. So
No,
appointment of
Ashuji, here
valuer.
it will be a very limited scope here in PIRP.
Acha.
So under liquidation, it's something different, but in PIRP, it's a very limited area.
Okay, fine. Okay, since you are going to extend 3 to 5, I said you can make it 3 to 7 because it is easy to remember everywhere it is 7 days valuer appointment.
True.
That is
40
why.
IM information memorandum. Any point of suggestion? I think it's very well elaborated here. Same as the CIRP. Next. Preferential and other transactions. Same as CIRP.
Yes.
But I could not understand if corporate data started the PIRP. Then, first of all, he will clean his books, or he will do to avoid all these preferential and other transactions, because he knows what implication will it. So what's your suggestion on this 41?
I think it's more of a pressure on the corporate debtor to.
Just a pressure technique.
No, even though he does all the arrangements, you can trace back the forensic audit and go any limit, actually. It is told as 2 years, but if a transaction pertains to 6 years, it has to be seen by the forensic auditor. He cannot shut his eyes in 2 years. You may have to plow back and bring it. So if they do something, definitely it will come to light.
यहाँ ये 45th day of prepack insolvency को we should increase this 60 days.
40th day is bit difficult. 60 days is slightly comfortable.
That's why I'm saying.
So 60 days is slightly comfortable.
60 working days.
Sir, if we are not able to form an opinion within 45 days, it is not that we should not form an opinion later on.
Yeah.
Let it be 45.
You can if the forensic auditor report not came in 45 days, then anytime you can start.
That is what, let it be 45 days.
Fair enough. What other says?
No, actually the limit should be 60 days. 45 days is too short a period.
It will be a
There is a
pressure.
provision to take back at any time. But that
be
cannot be relied upon on all cases.
Yes, it will be a pressure on IP.
Yes.
Fair enough.
The timelines will be pressing,
Yes.
Timeline chart will be asking you.
Next.
When you go to the AA also, timeline chart will be
exactly.
pressed upon.
This is the same mathematical calculation, scoring and improvement of resolution plan as we do in CIRP.
Yes.
Evaluation metrics and all. Invitation of resolution plan. It's the procedural part. Next. Is the content of the resolution plan same as CIRP?
But as far as the prepaid package itself, he should have a plan on hand. Then only he can move.
Obviously, then only it will be started.
Nothing in detail to be.
Yes. But for practical purpose, it should be under the regulations. I think 44, 45, 46, these are all the practical things which we are regularly dealing in CIRP. Evaluation, submission, approval, these all are the part of the CIRP process. Scroll down. Application to adjudicating authority. Okay. Yeah, this is the main thing. Management during the process. Any suggestion in regulation 50?
Actually, the management should vest with the IP. It is partly with the CD.
No, sir. Here management is not with the IP. Management is with the CD only.
The CD only. No,
yeah,
I say that it should be passed on to IP.
No, sir. It's of no use because during PIRP accounts shall not be vested. Bank account shall not be vested with the RP.
Yeah, it is a prepack is a debtor driven.
Yes. So it's the CD who will control everything. But RP duty is to see whether it is within the four corners of the law or not. Limited scope is there. See, kindly see sub-regulation 4, RP may call for information related to operation of CD, visit premises, inspect the assets, call for information related to compliance, ask detail for ascertaining the litigation or conduct of. So practically all control are with the CD only.
RP is overseeing the everything.
Yes, RP is overseeing the procedure. There should not be any violation of the IBC during his or her tenure.
And it is not prejudicial to the rest of the stakeholders.
51, vesting of management with RP. Now come to the section 54J1.
That the COC can vest the thing with the RP at any time.
Anjali, kindly see the section 54J.
Where the committee of creditors at any time during the prepackaged insolvency resolution process period by a vote not less than 66% of voting share resolve that vest the management with the corporate debtor to the resolution professional.
Yes. Here the chance if the
and shall make an application to the adjudicating
authority. Then only it will be transferred.
Yes.
Or when this resolution will be passed, if the committee of creditor or RP report that it is CD is not working in the best interest of all the stakeholders, or something fishy is going on, then he call for a meeting, and in that meeting with 66 voting percentage of voting share, it will be decided to hand over the management to RP, and with the approval of the adjudicating authority, the management shall be transferred to the RP. So the open provision is there. If in any point of time it feels that CD is not operating well, then it can be transferred to the RP. But not all from the very first day, as in CIRP or in liquidation. Come down, scroll it. Fair enough. Now, come to regulations. Anjali, come to regulations. Yes. Now I think this PIRP provisions has been completed, and now this return scroll it down. These all forms are here. All formats has been provided. Everything is provided in these regulations, all format of reports.
Pankaj, there should be a time chart also, like, you know, CIRP in the regulation, they can add the time chart also.
There is no such time limit. In 4 or 5 regulations, only time limit is there. Even time limit is not provided when this PIRP will be completed, within 6 months, within 2 months, within 3 months. Because it's not the complete insolvency process.
I think some outer timeline should also be there. I think so.
Sir, it is ongoing company, and account is not NPA practically. Account is not bad.
Okay,
it's a first-hand exercise before turning it into the bad account.
Okay.
So it is between the CD and the FC, how much time FC want to give to the CD. Because in my view, no FC wants to get the account NPA.
Okay.
So just to facilitate.
Okay.
So now share your suggestions. Any other point of improvement in this regulations?
So in the resolution plans which are invited to compete with the base resolution plan, it is mentioned that if it is significantly better, then it will be accepted. But is there any provision for the CD to match the improved plan? Since the intent of these regulations is, you know, for reviving companies who have reasonably good management, that sort of a provision should ideally be there.
There are 2 criteria, I can say 2 stages, 2 scenario. One scenario where FC is feeling heat, CD is feeling heat, he is short of fund, and he can run the business very well. He has knowledge of that business. He can run the business. Just the financial crunches are there. So he would not like to come another person and take over his business.
Right.
Second scenario come when a CD management is not able to run the company, they don't have the technical know-how. Then they want to sell the business as a going concern in the best rate. Then the new person will come in the company and he will run the show. So these 2 scenarios are there. So resolution plan will depend upon both the scenario. In first scenario, CD will provide the resolution plan, and it's FC who will concur this resolution plan. Yes, we will give this haircut or not, or we will make a deferred payment arrangement. We will convert the working capital loan in the TCWL.
Yeah, but in the first scenario also, if there is an impairment of OC claims, then necessarily competing plans need to be invited. And if the competing plan is significantly better as defined by the FCs, then that plan has to be selected. But but the original the existing management which provides the base resolution plan should be given an opportunity to match that.
Exactly. That is there.
Okay.
And one more thing, sir.
Yeah.
In the base resolution plan, party may ask some additional facilities from the bank.
I don't think bank will
No,
give
sir.
that.
If base resolution plan means for survival of the organization, they may ask some concessions also.
Yeah, concession, as far as concession is okay, but
And
for new funding,
additional credit facility they may ask. They may ask the repayment period extension also.
yeah,
longer.
payment extension is okay, but it depends upon the FCs whether they are interested to fund the project further or not.
And you may ask, suppose some working capital problem may guarantee nobody is giving supply raw material.
Yes.
They may ask guarantee non-fund based limits also.
Yes. That is there. That's the part of the resolution plan.
Yes. So not only from the bank side, in the particularly MSME, you have to see from the party side is.
Yes, so even with the operational creditor also.
Mainly survival, how we can survive the organization. That is important.
Exactly. So nowadays, as when the prepack start, then you have to keep all the houses in confidence also.
Yes, 100%. Okay,
so
thank you.
Any suggestions, other suggestions? So I will request all the fellow IPs to give their suggestion over mail to our IPA, ICSI, IIP. Put your valuable suggestions there. So we will compile and we will share the mail to all the IP before submitting with the IBBI. Fair enough? So now I think it is from my side, it is now end. Now Anjali, up to you.
Thank you very much, sir, for taking up the session. The session was very interactive and informative. Now at the last, I want to inform all the participants that the remaining regulation with respect to liquidation will be discussed on next Wednesday at 4 p.m. and the updated flyers will be circulated shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.